is definitely a must-see documentary for every parent and child, and its story inspires everyone who is going through adversity. The born disabled lion cub managed to catch up with the lions. He approached his mother to drink milk, but the mother who was nursing ruthlessly rejected him again. The little lion looked at a loss. He didn't know why his mother treated him like this. Because of a pair of crippled hind legs, his brothers and sisters also isolated him, and even his mother wanted him to fend for himself. In this big family, he is an alternative existence, seeing other brothers and sisters playing happily. The little lion was full of envy and longing. He also wanted to be part of that happy little group, but when the little lion plucked up the courage to approach, the brothers and sisters regarded it as air, and no one cared about its existence. The little lion with congenital defects was rejected again, and he left disappointed, with inexplicable bitterness and helplessness revealed in his thin and lonely back. However, the mother on the sidelines just watches from afar. The young lion licked his mouth. It has been 3 days since the last time he drank milk. At this time, the lion cub is very hungry. In order to survive, it must supplement nutrition. Knowing that his mother didn't like him, the little lion walked over tremblingly, but as soon as he got close, his mother bared his teeth and gave him a warning. The little lion's eyes were full of sadness and confusion. Seeing his brothers and sisters sucking on breast milk, the strong hunger forced him to try again. But he didn't expect his mother to stand up directly. The unwilling little lion chased after her again, but the result was still the same. As a mother, why is she so partial to this lion? It turns out that in the cruel nature, lionesses or other animals tend to give priority to feeding strong cubs, and most mothers will choose to give up feeding those cubs that are born with defects or weak. Unfortunately, this little lion did not get the favor of the heavens. For him, every migration of the lions was even more frightening. Long-term malnutrition and congenital disabilities made it move extremely slowly. Despite the young lion's efforts to keep up, he was eventually left alone in the vast grassland. The strong young lion did not give up and stumbled into the distance, relying on the tracks and scents left by the pride, and after a long journey, he finally found his family. But he was still not welcomed by the family. His siblings were completely oblivious to his arrival, and his mother did not even look back at him. However, the lion cubs are used to this. As soon as they set off on their journey again, the young lion immediately gives chase, limping along with no time to rest. Once out of the group, the young lion cub simply cannot survive. The prolonged walking and dehydration had depleted his strength, and he was in so much pain that he could no longer control his balance. But he doesn't give up. The strong desire to survive sustains him every step of the way. What his other siblings could easily do was so difficult for him. With great willpower, he managed to catch up with the lions at dusk. By now the other siblings are in their mother's arms drinking milk, but the young lion has been hungry for days. He was ready to take his chances, but a slap from his mother shattered all his illusions, and the lion cub slumped down in frustration. He didn't know what he had done wrong and could only watch in silence. Within moments the hunger in his belly struck again, and he mustered the courage to stand up once more. The young lion wanted to sneak a sip of milk around his mother, even if it was just a mouthful. He was content. The moment he got close, the lioness suddenly got up, and the lion cub looked at his mother with pity, longing for a little bit of love for himself. But the lioness did not give him any chance. The young lion's eyes were filled with anguish and sadness. He wondered how much longer he could hold on. Soon afterwards the lioness led the children to a water source, while the young lion remained alone behind. He stumbled up the hill, and when he saw his family gulping down the sweet river water, the lion cub became even thirstier. He was in imminent danger of dehydration if he didn't get hydrated soon. But the youngster didn't know how to cross the steep hill in front of him. He knew that if he wanted to survive, he would have to rely on himself. In the end, the lion cub chose to take the risk, and moved slowly down the steep hill, while a crocodile had been waiting in the water for a long time. The mother who had seen the scene had a weak heart and could not bear the thought of her child becoming food for the crocs. In the nick of time, the mother saved him anyway. She picked up the child in her mouth and quickly moved to a safe area. The clever crocodile knew it was useless and gradually disappeared into the water. The thirsty young lion cub slowly made his way to the river, where he finally got a drink of water. The scene before him was heartbreaking, as he knew his mother would not provide him with any food, so he had to drink more water to replenish his strength. After a quick drink, the lion cub struggled towards the shore, and just as he stepped onto the shore, he saw his mother feeding her other siblings, and once again the persistent lion cub made his way over. Surprisingly, this time the lioness didn't reject him, and for the first time in days she allowed him to get close enough to take a big gulp of her milk. The young lion licked the remnants of the milk from the corner of his mouth, as if he was still relishing the taste of what he had just had, and this moment of happiness was enough for him. The pride soon set off on a new journey. The young lion, still unable to keep up with his family, he was once again left far behind. His handicap combined with his lack of nutrition made every step seem so strenuous, and he seemed to be getting used to this when suddenly one of the young lions ahead of him stopped, as if waiting for himself. Then the whole family stopped in unison, and the young lion quickened his pace, for from this moment on he was no longer a lone lion. This is a relatively rare occurrence in nature. This young lion has won the acceptance of the entire pride through its tenacity and never give up spirit. At the same time, his experience also tells us that everyone who is in adversity, only by never giving up can we see a new light in our lives.